I'm the world's oldest practicing doctor. My 3 best tips for living a long, healthy life. At the age of 101, Dr. Arvid Nieminen still walks into his small clinic in southern Finland each morning. His patients, some of whom are younger than his grandchildren, marvel at the steadiness of his hands and the sharpness of his wit. For more than 7 decades, he has treated coughs, stitched wounds, delivered babies, and offered advice to families who now span 3 generations. His office walls are lined with framed certificates, so old the paper has begun to yellow, yet the man himself remains vital, moving briskly between rooms, jotting notes in a tidy script. When people ask him the secret to his longevity, he laughs and says, "I don't have secrets, only habits." Then he shares his 3 best tips, honed from a century of living and a lifetime of practicing medicine. His first tip is to keep moving every day, no matter how small the effort may seem. Dr. Nieminen has never been an athlete, but he has always walked. As a young doctor in the 1950s, he walked to patients' homes across muddy roads and snowy lanes. As cars became more common, he kept to his habit of walking after dinner, often with his wife at his side. Now, at 101, he still insists on walking at least half an hour daily, with a cane only when the streets are icy. He believes movement is the anchor of both physical and mental health. The body forgives you if you move, he says. It punishes you if you sit too long. He has seen patients in their 80s regain strength with nothing more than steady walking, and he tells anyone who will listen that mobility is the true fountain of youth. His second tip is moderation in all things, especially food. Growing up during the Depression years, he learned early the difference between hunger and gluttony. His meals remain modest: oatmeal in the morning, a plate of fish and potatoes at midday, and soup in the evening. He rarely eats sweets, avoids heavy meats, and drinks alcohol sparingly, but he does not believe in strict diets or deprivation. On Sundays, he still enjoys a slice of pulla bread with coffee, savoring the ritual more than the sugar. It is not one meal that matters, he explains. It is the pattern of thousands of meals over many years. He often tells patients that the simplest foods are the best ones, and that overeating is one of modern society's greatest enemies. He sees the rise of obesity, diabetes, and heart disease as proof that abundance without balance shortens life. His third tip is to find purpose and hold on to it fiercely. For him, medicine has always been more than a career. It is a calling. Even after many of his colleagues retired, he continued to practice, convinced that his work gave him strength. He believes that without purpose, people wither, regardless of age. Over the decades, he has seen patients who lived long after losing their health, yet the ones who endured with joy were those who still felt needed. A grandmother who babysat her grandchildren, a widower who volunteered at the library, a farmer who tended a small garden. These were the people who aged well. Purpose is oxygen for the spirit. As he says, without it, even the healthiest body cannot carry you far. Together, these 3 habits, movement, moderation, and purpose, form the backbone of Dr. Nieminen's philosophy. He admits that genetics play a role, but he insists they are not destiny. He has outlived his siblings, many of whom shared his genes but not his habits. To him, the proof is clear. The choices we make day after day matter more than the years written in our DNA. At his age, he does not pretend that life is without hardship. He has lost friends, his wife, and many of his earliest patients. His body aches some mornings, and his memory occasionally falters. But he faces these realities without bitterness, convinced that aging is not a curse but a privilege. He sees each day as an opportunity to continue his work, to teach younger generations, and to show by example that life does not end when society assumes it should. When asked if he plans to retire, he smiles and shakes his head. "What would I do with myself?" he replies. "Work is my medicine, and my patients keep me alive as much as I keep them alive." Looking back over more than a century, Dr. Nieminen's advice is disarmingly simple. Walk every day, eat with balance, and hold tight to purpose. These are not revolutionary prescriptions, but they are ones he has lived by with unwavering discipline. His life, still unfolding at 101, is proof that the path to longevity is not paved with secrets or shortcuts, but with consistent, humble choices that over time add up to a long, meaningful journey.